gave us the power, so we He's showing out, that's why we
Yo, we are back. Episode 23 of season 2 of the Not the Same Podcast Sports Show. Hosted by this one word, C-Micah, and that one word over there, Mr. Rob Redeem. Very glad, gracious, and very happy to be back with y'all for another Not the Same Podcast Sports Show, man. We miss y'all one words, you know what I'm saying, with y'all one word selves. Very glad to be back, man. We got a lot of sports talk for tonight, man. A lot of stuff to get into, and if you hate the NBA, I am sorry in advance. But we got the NBA and WNBA. So we got right now. And a couple other things. But mainly, man, that's what's really popping. Besides all that, man, if you are watching us right now on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or pirated stream, wherever you're watching it from, man, do us a solid and do what you see in the screen in about 3 or 4 seconds. Number 1, I need you to hit that like button, like now. Number 2, hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to Not the Same Podcast. And lastly, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we on some of our off-schedule days, which maybe like a Monday like we did last week, or Tuesday on the Bible study like we did the week before, or whenever, man. Just hit the notification bell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. We also want to give a shout out to our MTMV famo. You dig what it is, man. They over there, MTMV Sports, our rebroadcasters of the Not the Same Podcast.
Yes,
Who's Hop, His Hop. Sam His Hop out on the left coast out in Vegas. Podcast and radio network. They rebroadcast the Not the Same Podcast. Life Show TV. Shout out to them, rebroadcasters of the Not the Same Podcast. And like I said once before, our MTMV famo. We are on the network with them. Definitely give a shout out to them. Rebroadcasters of the Not the Same Podcast. What up, Mr. G?
Good evening, Mr. G. No CFL. Mr. G?
You know what? I'm going to say nope this week, but just because, you know
Ain't
what, Mr.
nothing
G?
about to be on.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. So Mr. G said this last week. Rob, try the CFL when I went on my whole little rant on my soapbox about no sports, dog days of summer outside of the Olympics. So I might give him a try, man. Might give him a try.
I think it's worth a try. I've watched a few games before, I believe last summer, and it was enjoyable. Some type of football,
Yeah. And there's a lot of former NFL players up there too, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's better than me trying to force myself to watch soccer, man. I try so hard, man. I know it's the most popular sports overseas. It's the real football, a lot of people say, man, but I mean, it's hard for me to like a game where you get a tie, dog. You know what I'm saying? And you tell me it's good that you tied. You know, like, all right, man. You know what, man? Let's get into what's popping.
Let's get away.
Somebody tell me what's popping. What's poppin' second segment, latest NBA news, brother. Let's go.
Boy, we got a lot of NBA to talk about. Latest NBA news, though, man. Look, shout out to guard Kemba Walker, who announced after 12 years his retirement from the NBA. Man, if y'all don't know, Kemba Walker came straight out of UConn. He was doing his thing. A lot of people doubted if he could make it to that transition into the NBA. And he ended his career as the all-time leading scorer for the Hornets franchise, man. So shout out to Kemba Walker on what he's doing. Also in NBA news, we want to give a shout out to our homeboy Tatum, STL Zone, Duke alumni. You know, anytime I get a chance to say anything about Duke, I am.
300 and what that boy had?
Bro, 314 milli. 314.6 milli. 5 years. You dig what I'm saying? Keeping them in Beantown through the 29-30 season. Yeah, so, you can say what you want. We talked about Tatum on here. He didn't get the finals MVP, but you know what he did do? He balled out. And that game, when it was time to close out, he balled out, and this just goes to show you that Boston realized who the real MVP is on that squad. No hate to my man. He got his bag last time. He got his bag, last year? Yeah, no, I'm just saying, was it last year Brown got his his extension? He didn't get this bag, though. So they know what it is that they're trying to do, and they trying to keep this core together. And, shout out to Tatum, man. Definitely.
Yeah,
big time. Go ahead,
Let
bro.
me say one thing about Tatum, man. No, it was so smooth. He got the biggest contract in the NBA, and you heard nothing about it, for real.
Yep.
Like, it just went undercover, like the richest contract ever.
In history, bro.
In history, dog. And, salute to him, man. And I can't say he ain't worth it, man. It's business. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like football in the NFL. It was his time. Whoever up next get paid the most. That's how it is right now. It's kind of how it's operating in the NBA. He was up next, dog. Period.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah. We always talking about the face. He after that type of money, but you're right. He signed that big contract and there wasn't a lot of fanfare. But I think this is the reason why as we transition over to free agency. Look, there's no more Splash Brothers. It's a wrap.
Mm-mm.
They gone. My man is gone down to Dallas. So he is with the Mavs with Luca and Kyrie and Lively, all the what they were doing last year, and they was missing that 3-and-D player. Well, they got him because all he got to do now is just sit out on the wing, let Kyrie dribble, kick out, let Luca draw the double team, kick out, and all he has to do is spot up and shoot. He don't have to worry about anything. And Clay's a decent defender. I'm not gonna say he's first team all defender, but guess what? The Lakers actually offered Clay a deal worth $10 million a year.
That is perfect divorce. My bad. From the 314 to 314
million. $14 million, no
That's
doubt.
what's up,
no
bro.
doubt.
I ain't think about it like that.
I didn't either. That's 314 a day, all day, even in the bank account. But the Lakers did offer Clay $10 million a year with a sign and trade deal that would have included D'Lo. They didn't bite, so he's down there. Caldwell Pope, as we say on here, Caldwell Hope, or when he missing Caldwell Nope. It's a lot of them. Look, the two-time NBA champion. He was a champion with the Lakers, a champion with the Nuggets. He is now going down to Orlando with my man from Duke, Powell. Listen, man, they got a veteran. And that may be dangerous because Orlando was not bad. And they re-signed Wagner as well. Donovan Mitchell agreed to a $150 million max extension.
Stay in Cleveland.
To stay in Cleveland. And I think they needed it. I think them firing Bickerstaff had something to do with Donovan. Because as soon as they fired Bickerstaff, Donovan was ready to re-up. So I don't know what Bickerstaff did with Donovan that made him not want to be there. But they got rid of the coach, and that's normally how it works. Players make the world go round. That's just the way it goes. Other free agent signings, because it's a gang of them, I'm just going to get into the ones that stuck out.
Yeah.
Chris Paul to the Spurs. Paul George to the Sixers. Harden stayed with the Clippers. Hardenstein left the Knicks to go to OKC to get them another big. So that's going to be behind Chet Holmgren. OKC going to make some noise next year. Y'all watch.
Absolutely.
James Wiseman to the Pacers. So that's going to be big also. And the Lakers agreed to a 2-year max deal with LeBron. So he didn't go for the super max, but he did get a 2-year max deal. He signed it today. And right now, man, the Lakers really fumbling the ball right now in this free agency thing. And that's the NBA news. It's a lot going on, but that's all the NBA news we're going to get to right now.
One addition, I say congrats to J.B. Bickerstaff because I thought he was unfairly fired from the Cavs. And he got a job with the Detroit Pistons. And I don't think he was a bad coach. He had a winning record with them in, 3 seasons and still got fired.
Bro.
That was all about Donovan Mitchell, like you said. And salute to him getting another job. Now, you ain't finna win a lot in Detroit, but hey,
I don't know, bro.
You probably have time, though. You have time, and you can deal with them young players. And he probably told them, look, dog, give me at least 3-4 years so I can build these dudes up. If he did that, he'll be all right. Go ahead, bro.
Look, Bickerstaff was the one that got the Olympic teams together before he went back into coaching. And this is the thing that I see with Bickerstaff. First of all, Cunningham signed it, and that's just another deal that nobody looked at. Cunningham signed a $212 million deal. You know, to stay up in Detroit.
Over there for
they
like
just
57.
got Tobias for $52 million. They got Tobias to go back to Detroit. They have some squads, and they got rid. Wiseman was up there, and they got rid of Wiseman. This team has a lot of talent. Here's what people fail to realize. When you got a lot of young players like this, you need a coach who can develop young players. And a lot of franchises, when you got a bunch of youngins, if you don't have a vet, i.e. Tobias Harris, it's going to be hard to get them to get buy-in because all of them want that shine.
Yeah. WNBA news, brother.
WNBA news, man. Look, we're going to start with the power rankings, and then we're going to have to shout out the Chi-Town Barbie. Number 1 this week is the Liberty. Number 2 is the Minnesota Lynx. Number 3 is the Connecticut Sun, followed by the Aces, who were number 5 last week, but they bumped up. Listen, Vegas Aces are on the move. It looked like they're starting to get that chemistry back. And then the Seattle Storm at number 5. A lot of people doubted this woman. Me and C talked about this a little earlier, staying in the WNBA. Chi-Town Barbie, Angel Reese out of LSU. They tried to paint her as the villain. She wanted to be the villain, however you want to look at it. But she proven a lot of you naysayers wrong. All the critics that said that her game wasn't going to transition to the WNBA and y'all, it's going to be different. No, this woman now has a WNBA record, 11 straight double-doubles. She will be an all-star her rookie year. She got the all-star nod. So shout out to Angel Reese. She's already breaking Candace Parker records and WNBA records in her rookie season when everybody said she was going to get to the WNBA and fall way short. I didn't expect her to be this good, but she is. And she's still second in the Rookie of the Year race. But if she continues at this pace and what she's doing, no doubt in my mind she can get it. Now, if it go to the media, she can hang it up. We know who's going to get that one. Also, on Tuesday, the Aces posted the largest regular season game attendance since 1999 with 20,366 fans at T-Mobile Arena. Why? Because the Caitlin Clark was in effect. You know what I mean? The Caitlin Clark effect was in effect. You dig what I mean? And bottom line, she's an all-star her rookie year. They came out to see Caitlin, and they broke records. This is what we were talking about when I said this rookie class is something different. The social media hype, using it. How many followers do they have? This is followers when you hear rappers be like, your followers don't add up to dollars. That's a lie when it comes to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Their followers equals dollars because wherever they go, they selling out buildings. And this one, another record, not just a Aces record, a WNBA record since 1999 with 20,000 in attendance, bro. That's big.
Kelsey Plum balled out.
Balled out. 34 of them.
My goodness. Ooh.
34
hooping. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Lastly, Olympic news.
So the Olympics is going down. We all know everybody's getting ready to head out to Paris. There's a couple of things going. Simone Biles. We don't normally hear about this when it comes to gymnastics. But the gymnastics team is deeming this the redemption tour because they fell to silver medal back in Tokyo 4 years ago. So Simone Biles, they saying this is the most experienced gymnastic teams they've ever put together in Olympic history. So if they fall short of gold, something is wrong when they're talking about the most experienced. But I think they're going for blood over in Tokyo, man. And they trying to come home with the gold chip on their shoulder. So shout out to Simone Biles and her team. Sha'Carri Richardson will make her Olympic debut. Remember 4 years ago, she got clipped on smoking weed and then they got rid of her because she was very outspoken. We spoke about her on this show, how everybody was trying to make her because she hood and she got the weave in her head and she doing this. It was unprecedented behavior from any track star, but hey, she's considered the fastest woman on earth right now, and she killing it all the way through. So I'm excited to see Sha'Carri. USA basketball, men's side, exhibition gets started in Vegas on July 10th. So and this is an exhibition game versus Canada, led by SGA. But this is the Olympic team for the USA, man. Even though SGA plays for OKC, he is from Canada. And they gave the U.S. in FIBA play, they gave the U.S. some problems, bro. They gave them some problems. Canada actually came with it, Dylan Brooks, along with some of the other folks. But our guards this year, Steph Curry, Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, Drew Holiday, Halliburton, those are the guards. Forwards, LeBron, Durant, Kawhi, Tatum. And then at the center position, you got Embiid, who is now officially an American because he signed all the papers. Anthony Davis, and then you got Bam Adebayo. That's on the men's side. For the women's side, you have Nafisa Collier, Kayla Copper, Chelsea Gray, Brittany Griner, Sabrina Ionescu, Jewel Lloyd, Kelsey Plum, who we just said balled out on Tuesday night, Brianna Stewart, Diana Taurasi, Alyssa Thomas, Aja Wilson, and Jackie Young. So that's the Olympics that's getting ready to start up in Paris. Yo, I think it's going to be some good competition, man. The world is catching up with the U.S. when it comes to athleticism and everything that we prided ourselves in dominating on. And things are starting to change. But, hey, let's go.
One last statement on Olympic thing, and this is really when Olympic, it was the Copa America soccer thing. I don't know a lot about soccer, but I know a little bit. So U.S. lost recently. And they shouldn't have lost. They lost to a team that they shouldn't have lost to. And I never understood for the life of me, the U.S. women's soccer has always been cold, always been good. They always been dominant. They always been awesome. The men's soccer has always been trash. I don't know why they can't get right. And they playing bad at the worst time because the next Olympics will be here. You know what I'm saying? In America. And if soccer team don't make it, that's going to look real bad. The men's soccer team. And do better. I think they'll end up firing their coach, man. They got to figure out something, man. But,
hey, our last Olympics in the U.S. was what, Atlanta, right?
Oh, L.A.?
I think it was Atlanta the last time we hosted the Olympics. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was Atlanta.
This one here is not just America, though. It'll be some in Canada. It's all North America. So it's Canada, Mexico and us. It's like all just North America. So it'd be
dope.
sites all over the place. So yeah, some of the stuff I think would be in Canada. Mr. G probably knows that as well. All right, let's move on to Soapbox.
Soapbox.
All right, this is our Soapbox segment when me and Rob go back and forth over particular subjects for 2 minutes. We go off of what's on our mind. We have a timer that looks like this right here, and when it's over, we have a buzzer that sounds something like this right here. As tradition, I always let my brother Rob go first. My brother, is you ready?
I think so, man. Hey, check this out. I'm starting a little early. There we go. Check this out. Everybody knows I got the ongoing joke that, Rob got kids with a Z. You hear what I'm saying? So, and I'm proud of it. I got five boys, and I'm super proud to spit on there like, look, man, my name gonna live on. But I tell you what, man, I want to give somebody some props, because when you look at Fortune 500 companies, the father always makes sure that the son is taken care of, and he gives him the thing, and he's a brat, and everybody like, man, this dude is a butthole. But his dad is a billionaire. His dad is a millionaire, and he inherits this, and he takes over the business, and sometimes he grows into it, and other times he run it into the ground. Well, this is what my soapbox is all about. Shout out to LeBron James, man. Because LeBron James has had Bronny James on his lap on the sideline since he was in Cleveland as a kid. And now LeBron James, who is a Fortune 500 business because he's a billionaire, an active player billionaire, still playing sports, not after like Magic Johnson or Michael Jordan. He's a billionaire and he's an active player, has now taken his Fortune 500. And if you want to talk about, it's not fair, it's nepotism, I don't care. Shout out to it, because everybody else get a chance to do it. And he made sure that his son, Bronny, who put in the work, is now a Los Angeles Laker. And he's going to be able to sit there and play and groom his son in a franchise. Made sure his son got a guaranteed contract. So if everybody talking about this is some bull. No, it ain't. It's power at its finest, and we see it across businesses all the time. So to be able to see him to put himself in position to be able to play with his son, salute. I get amped, and I said this on one of my stories, I get amped playing rec ball with my sons as C. I be out there proud in the mud watching them shooting and draining and talk noise, and I have their back all day long. So shout out to LeBron James, man, for having the power to put his son in position to be able to play in the NBA with a guaranteed contract and not with his dad's money.
All right, this is for the first time in history. This is not a debate feud, but I'm going to talk about the exact same subject from a totally different angle. And I did not plan this, but here we go. All right. Although I am very, very proud of LeBron James for doing what he did for his son, you know what I'm saying, because he is a Fortune 500 billionaire, active billionaire. I'm going to come from the other side, and maybe I don't see it because I don't have children. It was always my desire to have children. I wish I did, and I regret it every day, and maybe one day I still will. I don't know. But I'm going to come from this point here where I say, this is what I don't like about the Bronny James. Getting this. LeBron James scored 4 points a game last season for the USC Trojans. There was a teammate on this team by the name of Boogie Ellis, who scored 19 points a game. Guess what he was? Undrafted. 19 points a game. And you're telling me, now listen, I love, because I know Rob's gusto. Rob's gusto is the same as most people's gusto. He's black and he's doing something for his son. Yay! Okay, that's true. And we love that. But it's wrong. And I'm going to say why it's wrong. He ain't good. He's not good. And it's not, and you know what's even worse about him having a guaranteed contract? They stuck for 4 years with Bronny James. He got one of the highest paid guaranteed contracts for a player that averaged 4 points a game. Craig, we know he had a heart issue. Okay, we could play the sad song. He recovered. Okay, hey, praise the Lord. He recovered. Now, this is about getting buckets. I don't like it. I'm going to tell you why. You know why this is so unprecedented and why this never happened? You remember Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr.? If Ken Griffey wasn't great, Ken Griffey Jr. still was getting drafted. You know why? Because he is awesome. Bronny James is not awesome. He's not close to being awesome. He's not good. Now, he may turn out to be very, very good, but we're very happy about this because he got LeBron James blood. LeBron James blood. Actually, having LeBron James blood and his name still don't make you LeBron James. You still ain't LeBron James. You ain't Big Bron. You Bronny. Now, listen, man, I'm not really mad about it. I just don't think it's good. In my opinion, and I'll wrap this up. If I was a father and I want the best for my kid, and my example of fatherhood is my boy right here, and I love the way he fathers his kids and the way my daddy did it. My daddy wouldn't one day in Hades ever let that happen for me. He would make me earn it. He would make me earn it. And I feel like Bronny did not earn it, and that is the problem. That is the only thing I don't like about it. He could have said, look, I'll get you to work out. I'll get you to meeting with the boss. You can hang around and know the Rob Pelinka and all that, but you got to earn it. He ain't earn it. And that's what I don't like about it, man. But I love the fact that he's black and he got it for his son. Yay. Earn son, though. All right, let's
Man, baby.
I planned that at all, bro.
Hey, Fav ain't fair. And let me tell you, I'm going to say this because I know you didn't plan it.
I did not plan that at all.
Number one. And if Giannis' brother can play in the NBA, God dog is so can Bronny. At least he can make a layup.
How tall is Giannis, bro? How tall is Thanasis?
6 foot, no layup making.
How tall is Thanasis? How tall is Bronny?
I 6'2", 6'3".
Rob Redeem almost C-Micah height. Nah, I hope the best for Bronny, man. For real. I just wish. I say this and wrap it up. I just really wish my man, he could have earned it, man. At the end of the day, because listen, would the same thing happen for Bryce? That's what I want to know. You see what I'm saying? You gonna do the same for Bryce because you did it for your older son, and Bryce might be better. I don't know. Nah, I mean Bronny had more rankings or whatever, man, but he didn't do nothing in college, man. I'm just sorry. Anyway, we moving on. This is our debate feud segment. Me and Rob go back and forth. It should have been a debate feud. Go back and forth on particular subjects. We got a time that look like this. When it's over, we got a buzzer that sounds like this. All right, man. First subject. And I didn't tell you this, brother, so this is totally off the cuff. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to because I fell asleep before the show. What team has had the best offseason up until this point? And we're talking about free agency in general. But what team has had the best offseason up until this point? We kind of talked about this, but it didn't come through in the email. So who you think?
By far, the best offseason has been the Philadelphia 76ers, bro. The 76ers went in and they lost Mo Bamba, but they got Andre Drummond. You know what I mean? They lost the Anthony Melton, if I'm not mistaken, but they still can pick up Kyle Lowry on the minimum. And they kept Kelly Oubre, added Eric Gordon, not to mention Paul George. So to me, on paper, bearing no injuries, the Philadelphia 76ers, in my opinion, has had the best offseason because they didn't just go after one word. They went after a slew of one words. And they still getting more one words in the fold. Remember that? If it's trouble, one of them going to get two of them going to get three. That's more triggers. You dig what I mean? They mobbing up. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna have to agree with you with Philly, man. But I'm gonna say my second. I agree with you with Philly, but for a counter, I'm gonna say Oklahoma City. And they only really did 2 moves, but they did 2 great moves: Caruso and Hartenstein. They was the number 1 seed in the West last year. And they needed a center. They went and got a very good center, very valuable center, because they saw the opening when New York did their thing and went ahead and got who they put over there, Miles Bridges. And they're like, okay, they ain't got enough money to pay all these Philly boys, so let me swoop in and try to get Hartenstein. They did. They get Hartenstein. And they also got Caruso. That's exactly what they needed. OKC was a very good defensive team last year. Caruso is a very good defensive, basically 3-man / point guard, and he can shoot the 3. And I think that it makes them even better. I think it makes them even better. So my second would be them. And then third, I say Orlando Magic. Great offseason, man. Getting KCP, retaining all the players they had. You know what I'm saying? They didn't lose nobody. And they had a very good offseason. Now, a lot of people would say Dallas. I don't think so. You brought up Dallas earlier, and I wanted to get to this. And this is why I say most people will hear about the offensive threat and they think Dallas is better with Clay. Clay wasn't good with Steph and Draymond. I'm sorry. We know what Clay did 5 years ago. He ain't getting no better. He older. Now, he may not have to move as much, but here's the problem. Losing Derrick Jones Jr., he shoots way better than Derrick Jones Jr. You know what he don't do what Derrick Jones Jr. did as well?
Bro.
Play that defense. Now, he used to be one of the best two-way players in the league. But two bad knees, what else he had? Achilles and all that.
Achilles, yeah.
That slowed it. And being 34 years old slows all that down. I think it's a good thing, but I think Dallas got worse in offense, losing him and I think the dude name was Green, the young guy they had, light-skinned cat. They lost two of their good defenders, and I don't think it made them much better,
and
although
Tim
it
Hardaway.
looks like it. And Tim Hardaway. I don't think they got better. Everybody would say they got better. I'm not sure they got better.
No, I think I'm with you. I throw the Knicks in there because the Knicks getting Bridges was big, and the reason that was big was because now you got that Villanova connection between Hart, Brunson, and bringing Bridges in. So now you got that three-way, and they got one more player that was up there that they still have that was on that Villanova squad. It's chemistry, and they're bringing that UConn because they have chemistry, man. You can't. It's just certain things your people like and where to put them at on the court. And when you got that type of chemistry, you go as far as they went this year. So the Knicks had a quiet. Yes, they lost Hartenstein, and that's big. So they need to go out and find them. They need to go find them a big out. Somebody just serviceable. As long as Julius Randle can stay healthy. Now you got to keep that one word because at first you could have been like, man, let me trade him. Now you got to keep him. And then you got to find you somebody else who's still sitting out there that you could possibly go get. But the Knicks had a good one. But by far, man, just squadding and mobbing up, the Sixers blew it out the water what they did, man. And on paper right now, and I don't want to get too far into it. On paper right now, it's interchangeable between them and Boston. Boston ain't lost nothing, and they gonna get Porzingis back. So you got to come. You got to come for the crown. But on paper right now, the 76ers is tough, bro. They are deep as ever.
All right, quick audible for a couple of minutes. Number one, I think Golden State actually got better too. And the two players may not been way better than Clay, Pete Clay, but you got a young DeAnthony Melton. I know about DeAnthony Melton. He's a good player. If his back is better, he's going to be very, very good for them because he's a defender. He don't have to have the ball. You know what I'm saying? And Kyle Anderson do everything. If you watch basketball, you can call him slow-mo, whatever. He ain't that slow for real. He can't shoot, but he can dribble the ball. He can pass the ball. He's like a big point guard. Actually, that's what he played in UCLA. He was like a huge point guard, 6'9" point guard. That's going to be good for them.
And then that youngin's going to come up. So now you got the Moody's that'll step up. You got that one guy who took Clay's spot. He'll get a chance to get more. Not Kuminga, the young white player. I can't think of his name.
I know you're talking about.
He can shoot. He can shoot that. Yeah, he can shoot the ball out the gym.
Left hand.
So now they just gotta. Steve Kerr needs to get out of his hole. Phil Jackson. I'm for the veterans, and now it's time to let your youngins come in and do what they need to do. Because Kuminga should be way better, and hopefully Wiggins has stopped wigging out in his head if it's true. Well, last year it was some lady stuff. His lady messed him up, and you know when your lady cheat on you, if it's true, it can mess your head up. So hopefully he'll be back.
All right, one quick thing, bro. Who had the worst off season?
My Miami Heat.
Dang, really?
Flat out. Only thing they did was cut Love and re-sign him. Like, we can't do nothing.
Got a big man in the draft, man. 7 foot that can shoot threes.
Bro, the draft. We talking about free agency, bro. Like,
this is true.
I'm not talking about free agency wise. I was very disappointed. There was no movement. And I don't know Sacramento's cap space, but in speaking as a Miami Heat fan, as you see on my chest,
you are
like, come on, man. What are we doing? We got people like, who is that? And I know we are great as far as development goes. We are great in developing players, but we had a player who was very good in Yurtston. We need another center. So Yurtston got cut by Utah. Why the heck y'all didn't bring him back? Because y'all lost him because we couldn't afford him. You better go get that man. You know what I'm saying? The offense. Yeah, my team. Well, who you think, bro?
Lakers, by far. Lakers.
Ooh, they still
Horrible
could get
offseason.
they still could get DeMar.
LeBron said, "I take less than pay cut so we can get Clay." And Clay said,
No.
"You know what I'm saying?" Then he said, "I take less. We can go get somebody else." And they said,
No.
they struck out on everybody. Valanciunas chose the Washington
I
Wizards
know.
over
Chose
the
the
Los
Wizards
Angeles
over the
Lakers.
Los Angeles Lakers, bro. That's deep. When I saw Valanciunas didn't want to go to LA,
Bro.
but he's gonna start there, even though they got the no, they got the #1 draft pick. They got the big Frenchman.
Yes, and he still went there. Listen, man, I told you, Lakers are one of the most piss-poor ran organizations that nobody ever calls out because it's LA and they like the beaches and they got a history. That history ain't the same no more.
Beaches, folks. He said beaches.
Beaches with the palm trees, not anything else. The beaches and the palm trees. And with that, you know what? We just gonna move on because that was funny. All right. After free agency, will Boston come out of the East this year?
Is theirs to lose, flat out. You know what I mean? Like we talk about it, and man, Philadelphia, and I just gave them their props of having the best offseason. But when it's all said and done, Tatum is still in his prime. Brown is in his prime. They got White back. Kristaps Porzingis he'll be back, I think, after Christmas because he's gonna be out for a little while. But he'll be fresh going into the playoff run. As long as they don't have any injury, you have to knock them off the throne. Period.
Yes.
I mean, they won. That's it. They won. And we know Embiid and Paul George together, they probably played about 75% of the games.
Right. That's exactly what I was about to get to. Will they come out East this year? Probably so, unless Tatum or Brown get hurt. If Porzingis get hurt again, they still gonna win. They proved it last year. Porzingis didn't stop nothing. Not saying Porzingis ain't good. I'm just saying them not having Porzingis did not slow them down one bit. They are awesome. They re-signed their whole starting five. Everybody's re-signed. You know what I'm saying? Except I don't know if Horford got re-signed, but I think they can take care of that. Beyond that, man, Philly. The problem with Philly is that 4 bad knees. Paul George and my guy
Embiid.
Joel Embiid. We can't trust them 4 knees because one they knees gonna tear up all the time. They always hurt. Paul George has barely played. The only time he played a lot of games was this year, the contract year. He only plays a lot of games in the contract year. He just got paid. You think this man ain't finna play? Nah, he ain't gonna play. Now, if they do it strategically and say, look, man, we're gonna sit most of the year. We'll come in about a 4 seed and we're gonna all be healthy for the playoffs. They're gonna be a problem to deal with if they do that. But they may not be able to time that out. They may not be able to time that out, man, because when it comes playoff time, you're going to need them 2 players. But I think they still may be able to go well because Maxey is a superstar. Maxey is a superstar. He has elevated himself super high. That boy is awesome. Cold.
And you know what
he got heart.
Now, the thing about Maxey, they was sleeping on him. Like they did not give Maxey no
Philly
respect.
was sleeping on him.
Yeah, right. I know. They gave him no respect. This man said, you know what? I'm going to bet the bag on myself. They said Maxey was training so much they had to send this boy home. He was at the gym every single day. To Mr. G point, since we on the Sixers, even though we talking about will Boston come out the East, his conditioning this year is going to be different because he's playing in the Olympics. So that's going to give him the conditioning to stay in basketball shape.
I agree with Mr.
Will he
G
get tired?
Yep.
Will he get tired? Yes, he will. Will it hurt the knees a little more? Probably will. But he doesn't have to be the superstar because Anthony, look, man, they got Mr. Glass 1, 2, and 8, all of them out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, Mr. Glass #1 is Anthony Davis.
Yep.
So Anthony Davis there, he gets hurt all the time. Mr. Glass #2, Embiid, 3, Kevin Durant, because he's just turned into that. And then the rest of them pretty much can make it through. Booker's also starting to be, that's Mr. Glass #8. He on the squad. So if I'm those franchises, I'm like, these words wanted to rep the country. Yay, why you didn't go sit his tail down? You dig what I mean? Because you wasn't ready. You wasn't ready.
Right.
And as far as Boston, you got to come through and take it away from them. That's the bottom line.
No disrespect to my brother, Mr. G, because I know he's Canadian, but I was so happy when our rookie, Zach Edey, said, no, I'm going to go work for the Grizzlies, and I'm not going to go play for Canada this year. I can play the next time. I was so happy. So happy. You know what I'm saying? I respect that. But
I respect it because it's
I
hunger and it
respect
shows that he's focused on what it is he need to be doing.
Oh, he gonna be nice, but
I
that's
got
for
mad
another.
respect for Edie,
Yeah.
man. Edie, the way Edie acted, and then we know Boston. Yes, Boston is the one that we feel like coming out. But
Yes,
to
there it
Edie
is.
point, when Edie was in that NCAA tournament, and every time they tried to bait him into some stuff, Edie was like, "We ain't done. We got more work to do. We ain't done. We got more work to do." Most respect of him, man. That man was focused the entire tourney.
Yeah, and the dude that went above him that everybody thought was better, he punked that dude in the national championship game.
In the
When he
national
lost that
championship.
game, he dropped like 35 on his head.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, Boston will probably come out next season unless there's injuries. I think they will come out, even with the great additions of Philly. I don't think Phillies would surpass them because I don't trust them one words to be healthy. I just can't trust it. I'm sorry. I wish they could. The only person I trust on their team to stay healthy is Maxey because he's young enough and his body's still rubbery. You know where stuff don't get hurt as easy. Yeah, and if you live long enough, you know what that means.
You know what we talking
You know
about.
what that means. He just popped right on back up. Oh, they ain't hurt. Shoot, let us fall. Let me and my brother fall. This is gonna be painful. All right. No, that ain't the one. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right. Are the Mavs the favorite to come out of the West this season? Are the Mavs the favorite to come out of the West this season? Mr. Davis.
Can you hit that one button when let's see we on the same. There we go. We on the same page.
No.
They are not.
Heck no.
Let me tell you something. The Mavs are not the favorite. You had a gimpy Luka.
Yes.
They got through and everything just lined up the same way we said everything lined up. The stars lined up for Boston on the East with all the injuries.
Yes.
Sort of the same thing happened with the Mavs.
Yeah, man.
They had the team that would have knocked them out, which was Denver, went up against a younger Timberwolves team, and then Timberwolves was too young to mess with Kyrie and Luka, who were veterans. You see what I mean? It was just a matchup thing. So no, I don't think they're going to come out. As a matter of fact, if you start looking at it, T-Wolves. It's between T-Wolves, OKC, and the Nuggets next year coming out of the West.
My bad. Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead, bro. No, go ahead.
I say this, man. The last part of your statement is the biggest thing, biggest reason why the Mavs ended up in the finals. Matchups. Okay. Yeah. The Timberwolves dog stumped Phoenix because of the matchups. Nobody on Phoenix could hold Anthony Edwards. Period.
Boy.
Nobody could do nothing with him. And nobody on Phoenix had the big man to deal with Karl Anthony Towns. Karl Anthony Towns, when nobody was calling him soft that series because he was too good, right? When they got to the Nuggets, it wasn't Karl Anthony Towns that won it. It was Anthony Edwards. Nobody on that team could deal with him. They had nobody that can defend him, and that's why they won. When they got to the Mavs, when the Mavs got to them, nobody can defend Luka, or they could slow down Luka. Nobody can do nothing with Kyrie. And my man Anthony Edwards made the dumb mistake of calling out Kyrie. And Kyrie, think about who's on the Timberwolves, the point guard. Their lead point guard is Mike Conley. Mike Conley, I was alive when Mike Conley had this great run for Memphis. That was a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Mike Conley is in his late 30s. He's still good. He ain't stopped Kyrie good. And Kyrie and Luka, that matchup won. Now, when they got to Boston, Kyrie and Luka didn't win not one matchup. Not one, dog. Not one.
It was younger dogs.
It was younger dogs. But I'm saying every matchup on that team was too good. Also, I say this, bro, we can move on. Also, I mean, I'll let you go. Also, when the Mavs were playing the Timberwolves, they also had a matchup advantage with the big man. Their big man were too quick for
Lively was killing them boys, man.
Killing them. It's too quick.
Gafford was killing.
When they got to Boston, it didn't work because all their big men, they played this 5-out offense, and they had to play defense on somebody because all 5 of Boston players could make threes over 30%. I believe like over 35%. They whole 5 did that, and that's hard to defend. Go ahead.
Hard to defend. And even though Kristaps Porzingis only played in 2 games, both games he played in was impactful. Game 2, that boy, what was the game 2?
Sir.
Lights out. Killed him. Came back in game, I think game 5, he came back and played a little bit. Even though he got hurt in it, my man still came back and just, altered some shots, which they call unofficial stat blocks or blocks that don't go on your stats. Here's the thing, and you're right, Mr. G. If DeMar DeRozan go to Denver, it's a wrap. no doubt.
Are they talking about him going there?
It's one of the places he's thinking about because nobody wants Zach LaVine. But as
Nobody.
far as Mavs coming out of and Zach good, man, his contract is bad. That's what the problem is. So he kind of like stuck. The Bulls are stuck. What up, C4?
Cortona, good to see you, brother.
So with that being said, man, the Mavs not coming out the West next year.
No, they're not.
I just don't see the Timberwolves. They're better. They just picked up that rookie guard who is ready to play ball in the NBA. So that gives them another guard who can score outside of Anthony Edwards. You know what I mean? Looking at the Nuggets, same way. They lost They lost Caldwell Pope. You dig what I mean?
They lost Reggie. The
Lewis. Was it Lewis or Reggie Lewis or Jackson?
I can't remember. Reggie Jackson. They lost Reggie Jackson. That's the one.
So, but OKC, man, like Pelicans got better. Like y'all, you got it. They lost Najee Marshall, but I can't remember who they picked up. They picked up a nice
player. The point guard from ATL.
Yeah, DeJounte Murray. So DeJounte Murray then went over to the Pelicans. The Pels was good, and the Suns, I think another year together, maybe another year together, they can make some noise. I think, but the Mavs, I don't think the cards gonna fall in their favor with the pieces they lost and only gaining Clay.
Yeah, I'll say this and then we'll move on. I don't think the Mavs, no, not this year. And the team I have the most faith in, OKC, and I am a fan of a team in the West, but OKC, they're the ones I think they're the most balanced and complete team. Then next is the Timberwolves, and then after that, anybody after that. Them two are at the top. Anybody above that, you never know. Anybody can rise up and shock you or whatever. And the Nuggets, I think they lost it, man. They lost it. This first apron, second apron thing, this free agent thing has messed these teams up. They got to be real smart, and they can't keep their players like they used to. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's really been having a strong effect on them.
That luxury tax is killing folks, and some people willing to pay, and other people like, nah, I'm cool. Nah, you got to go. To Mr. G point, yes, Lauri Markkanen is still out there. DeMar DeRozan is out there, and Ingram is a free agent with a team option, if I'm not mistaken. He's not unrestricted. I don't think he's even restricted. I think it's a team option on Ingram, and he'll be unrestricted, I think, next season, if I'm not mistaken, for the Pelicans as far as Ingram goes. But that DeJounte Murray pickup, even though they lost Najee Marshall, that DeJounte Murray.
Valanciunas. They need to get a new big man because they lost Valanciunas.
They lost Valanciunas, but, I mean, I think they can find somebody who's serviceable. Right now, if I'm anybody, I'm going for – we forget about how good Markinson is, bro. Like
he's awesome.
And whoever picks him up, that is going to be a plus, but he's going to have to go to a team that's going to know how to utilize them, and he can fit in and start playing right away. Miami. Good Lord.
Next subject. Who will be top five? Who will be the top 5 teams in the East and the West this season? Let's start with the East, bro.
Right now, I'm going Boston, number 1, because they won the championship. 76ers, we've talked about both of them. The New York Knicks, we mentioned them a little earlier. Listen, the Pacers. So the Pacers lost, I think his name Jonathan Smith. They lost Jonathan Smith, who's a center behind Miles Turner, but they picked up James Wiseman. And that James Wiseman pickup is going to be good in that offense. I think James Wiseman will thrive in Indiana over Detroit or the Warriors, where he got drafted to, and then the Cavs, the Cleveland Cavaliers. I know Garland wants out, but that's 2 small guards. They have a package. You wait, look at your summer league, check out this draft. I'll ship Garland out because Garland he's not facilitating the offense. You basically got 2 shooting guards out there. He's not a point.
No. Okay, I'm gonna go definitely Boston. In no particular order, but number 1, even if it was in order, Boston. Number 2, I'm gonna say the Knicks. Number 3, I say Philly. Number 4, give me the Magic. Sleeper. Magic. And then number 5, I'll go Cleveland. But yeah, Magic, Cleveland / Indiana. I got them the same tier. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I got them the same tier. And I probably lean, if I had to pick between them, I'd say Indiana. So my number 5 be Indiana with Cleveland on the outside. They got a new coach. They got a new system. They may make some trades, but Indiana is good. Indiana gave Boston their best fight in the playoffs.
They did. And
The best
Halliburton
fight.
got hurt, and that's one of the
Even
reasons.
with Halliburton hurt, they almost beat Boston like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
That's a good team. That's a good team.
Mm-hmm.
They got a great offense. Westbrook.
Mm-hmm. Correction on Jonathan is Jalen Smith that left Indiana. Right on, Mr. G. Out west, Minnesota Timberwolves. No particular order. Minnesota Timberwolves, the Nuggets, OKC. I have the Pels and Suns like right there, and then the Mavs. I can't count the Mavs out because Jason Kidd is a darn good coach, and they have their chemistry. It's just the two people that they lost, and Tim Hardaway Jr., even though he was hurt most of the season, they lost some defensive players, but I still got them in my top 5. And Pels and Suns, I'm like you are with Cavs and Pacers at neck and neck. That Orlando pick, bro, you might be right on with that Orlando pick.
They on their way. They on their way. They went to 7 with the Cavs last year.
Yeah, they did.
Paolo Banchero is a real
young.
superstar.
Oh, that boy, the truth.
He's a real superstar.
Yeah, he's the truth. He went to Duke.
Top 5. I know. I was waiting on you to say it. My 5, man. Number 1, I got OKC. Number 2, I say Minnesota in that order. Number 3, this where he gets a wild card. I say Denver just because of the experience. Number 4.
Right.
Shoot, I don't know. I don't think this team is. I just say this because I like the trades. I say the Pelicans. At number 5, I'm gonna say my team, the Grizzlies. But
I forget about them.
And the reason, and I said that because I know I need to explain why, because everybody forgot and they thought we just sucked just because we had a bad year and everybody was hurt. We was number 2 years in a row, and all the same players are there, minus only
Steven
Adams. And the guy we drafted is supposed to be a Steven Adams, but 6 foot taller. You know what I'm saying? But does the exact same thing, except it has and actually can shoot free throws. I think we'll be right back. Not number 1 though, but we'll see.
Yo, so the Memphis pick, the reason we forgot because of all the injuries and why, Ja. When Ja got hurt, remember first suspension, then he got hurt, whatever the case may be. But for your argument, the Grizz actually that deal, bro, because when you look at it, you got Marcus Smart, who is a dog. You have Ja, who's a dog. 3J. Now you got a center. You got your man Bane, who just was out of his mind on threes. And y'all got a bunch of other people there. So I can give you that. As a matter of fact, I would bump the Suns out when I said Pels or Suns and make it Pels or Grizz. But I'm gonna keep Timberwolves, Mavs, Nuggets, OKC, and then Pels and Grizz will be that number 5 seed on the top 5 next year.
I think OKC and Minnesota by far like gonna be 2 of the best teams. I mean, I just think so. But we'll see, because what we think now would be totally different when you see players play. You know, we ain't seen that we saw last year. We ain't seen this year. So it's very, very dead. I read they trying to move Smart. Yeah, I doubt it. But if they do, they better be for something good. I did see, and we'll move on, I did see that they threw their hat for the marketing trade. Now, they get marketing smart. I say, I'll holler at you, dog.
Deuces.
I'll holler at you. But, dog, you let me have Edie, Triple J, and marketing like at the 3 7-footers, 7'5", 7 foot Bane and Ja. Ooh, Lord, that's gonna be murder. Defense and offense. That'd be a problem. But it ain't gonna happen.
Edie will be down low, but the other 4 can shoot.
Yeah, but that ain't gonna happen. So I'm cool with Smart. We'll see what happens. That's too good for my team. All right, man. Let's get to the one word of the day. That's just too good. This one word. No. Of the day. The one word of the day is Mr. J.J. Redick. And while we saying here's the one word of the day, we're going to show y'all a video about it. And just a second, Rob. Rob, I'm going to let you set up whatever you want to set up before that, and then we'll run the video. Go ahead.
So, of course, if you're new to the show and it's your first time seeing it, last week he should have been our one word of the day, but we had our guest. Shout out to the 494,
Big salute to them.
Our homegirl C, Sports Talk with C, and our homeboy Julius. So Check this out. J.J. Redick did his press conference when he was announced as a coach. The clip starts where somebody says, so what are you saying to the naysayers and the narrative people and all these people that have to say you don't deserve being a coach? And J.J. Redick responded with something like this.
Question, because I really don't give a fuck. Like, honestly, I want to coach the Lakers. I want to coach the team. I don't want to dispel anything. I don't. I want to become a great coach in the NBA, and I want to win championships, and I want my players to maximize their careers. That's all I fucking care about.
Oh, you know all I thought about? On my mama. On my That's all I could think about when he said that. That boy should have.
Yeah. And we talking about the original song, not the remake. We talking about the original song.
Right.
No, look, shout out to J.J. Redick. Everybody talked about, and I get it. How come Sam Cassell wasn't up for this job? How come? Listen, in today's NBA, you want a coach who can relate to the players, a coach who players respect. J.J. Redick may have never coached a day in his life outside of the 4th grade summer league team that they were all joking about, but this man played in the NBA. Yeah, he's a student of the game, and players respect him. He was under Coach K, and then he was under he's been under Doc Rivers. He's been under as a player, but when you are a guard like this, he understands X's and O's, and we'll see what happens. I hope he succeed. Why? He went to Duke. That's all I'm saying.
That's all that brother care about. He went to Duke. I ain't got a lot of hope for J.J. Redick, man. I'm keeping 1,000, dog. I ain't got my hope for him, man. That man cool with LeBron. Let me keep it real. Let me keep it real for y'all. I had to talk real Memphis right quick. You know, remind y'all folks where I'm from. I ain't got a lot of hope for him. Look, JJ could be all right. He could be all right. I really respect the interview though. Salute to him. You know, not to cuss and whatever.
Don't worry, bro.
He went with the rigmarole. You know what I'm saying? That's just being real. He went with all that. Nah, dog. I'm gonna say what he gonna say. Mr. G say, do we like his assistants, Brooks and McMillan? That's what I'm saying, man. Like, I heard he couldn't get all the assistants he wanted to, you know. And this is one thing I would say about J.J. Redick, and you know J.J. Redick because you are a Duke fan, so I'm sure you follow some of the things. One thing I don't like about J.J. Redick a little smug. He come off a little smug sometimes. Dog, you as a brand new coach, he ain't coaching the summer league. Why? Every brand new coach coach their summer league, and then they go and coach it. That's like a tradition. When we got our coach, he coached summer league. Nick Nurse, when he got the job with the Sixers, coached the summer league. That's what you do. He said, I'm gonna get one of my assistants. Dude, you ain't got no assistants. Summer league starting this week, dog. Utah summer league starting on Monday. Next Friday, the Vegas summer league start. You ain't got no assistants. You talking about, I'm gonna let my assistants do it. Come on, bro. I hope the best for him because I loved him on TV because he did not fall for the old man talk on the NBA. And he'd be like, nah, dog, them old dudes, we'll watch them. And I respected all that. And he didn't lay down for nobody. I respect it. But, you know, every coach got a learning curve. Every coach got a learning curve. And we'll see what'll happen when he becomes a coach. But
J.J. Redick to me is the equivalent of Tony Romo in football. Remember when Tony Romo went into the booth? Tony Romo could call a play out just by looking at. I mean, it was spectacular. Like,
yes, sir.
My man was like, right now they're going to go into a boom, boom, blah, blah, blah. You would have thought he knew the playbook. This is how good he was. And that's how J.J. Redick is in basketball. How does that carry over? Because you're not an announcer. You're a coach.
Right.
And you have to get these people to now buy into it. Now, as a fan of the NFL, hearing Romo broadcast, now it didn't kind of got on your nerves now that he didn't did it for a few years. But in the beginning, we was like, bro, this dude is
awesome.
He was no wonder the Cowboys liked him. Right. We got to see if this is going to transition as a coach because, again, Romo in the booth, this man on the sideline. We'll see what happens.
That point you made, you got to see his transition. Also, you got to see this, man. The league is not like it was when he played. And what I mean by that, these young dudes, all of them ain't taking no hard coaching. You know what I'm saying? The coaches that's winning Is Steve Kerr a hard coach? No, he's a players coach. These players coaches are really getting to these players other than your coach and Popovich. Your coaches had success.
Coaches don't play no games.
Popovich is not having success right now. Now they got a bigger picture, and he probably will when they get more players. And another trade or whatever, we ain't talk about. Chris Paul went to the Spurs. I think that is great. We didn't talk about that earlier, but I think that
I did. It was real quick though. It was real quick.
That'd be great for Wemby. Great for Wemby, I think. A real point guard, somebody that actually pass on the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's that
facts.
little. But as for Redick, man, I think he'll have to know how to deal with these new generation players. That my way or the highway stuff don't work no more, man.
No, it don't work no more.
Front offices and coaches are in one. They in sync now. It's not like I'll coach my team. Y'all get out of here. All that is over. All that is over, man. And the thing with the Lakers, man, I really think the Lakers are. You said it, Mr. G. Stupid.
Come on, man, wrap it up. Mr. G right there. He called himself after. Yes.
And for the pause coaches, salute to Cameron and Mace, man. I love their show. It's funny. If you can't deal with the cussing, don't go watch it. But if you can, it's hilarious. And they actually know sports. And they got everybody saying pause right now. But yeah, man, as for Redick, man, if he can deal with those players, I think he'll be all right, man. I think Redick's worth to be proven when LeBron is gone. That's when we'll see how good a coach he is. Because everybody's going to look through the lens of, you LeBron's guy. You know what I'm saying? You're here because of LeBron. You got LeBron to literally do a podcast. LeBron ain't never did no podcast. I only heard him on a podcast twice. I heard him on the one with Shannon Sharp and Richard Jefferson they had back in the day with the Cavs. He came on there a couple of times. He also came on a podcast that had nothing to do with basketball. One time I heard him on like a business podcast. Only time I ever heard him talk. He don't be like doing that a lot. And he got one with JJ. And I wonder how the other players would deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And the other vets. I ain't talking about the young players because they gon' that's their GOAT. They playing with their GOAT. So they ain't gonna be really questioning bro.
Right.
But I'm talking about, and also, how does he deal with his son? You know what I'm saying? Like, JJ got a challenge, dog. And they front office is crazy. Them folks ain't in sync. You got Jeannie Buss over here trying to run son. You got Rob Pelinka trying to run son. For some odd, dumb reason, Kurt Rambis and his wife got say. Why? 3 directions. They wanted 3 different coaches. One person wanted my man for Bobby Hurley, Danny Hurley. The other person wanted JJ. The other person wanted this, and JJ ended up winning because everybody else said no. Pray for JJ. Come on, dog. Let's be real, dog. They tried to get Danny Hurley.
Hey, bro,
I think they tried to get my old boy Borrego. I think they tried to get somebody. Yeah. They tried to get not Dunleavy. Who the guy that went to Phoenix? They used to coach the Bucks.
Yeah, I know you.
You know
he won the championship with them. Yeah, he won the championship with the Bucks.
Remember, they wanted to get Ty Lue, and Ty Lue and the Clippers re-upped him and said, "Nah, you ain't getting him." They struck out so much, dog. They struck out on free agents. They struck out on good coaches. They totally. They whole all season has been
right. Hey, I'm gonna say this and we can end it, bro. You know who really getting ready to have it harder than anybody?
Who is that?
I feel bad for Bronny because
I agree, bro. I agree.
LeBron gonna be down his throat. His coach is gonna be expecting. Wrap it up, man.
You know what, dog? You know, at this point, dog, let's just go.
Yeah, have you ever?
Rob ain't even over there.
Ever thought about?
Hold on. You ain't. I gotta put you.
It don't even matter at this point because that's how I feel. Blacked out right now. This cat. I feel sorry for Bronny, man. Thanks, Mr. G. This one word across for now I can't even say. Yeah, whatever, bro.
My bad, bro. Hey, man, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
We'll see y'all. Y'all know the spiel. Hey, man, I'm Rob Redeem. Let me get up off this. I'm already off your screen.